So, if you're a parent, chances are you've heard that cry from the other room, a total, full blown meltdown over something that, to us, just looks like a bunch of pixels on a screen. Today, we're going to dive into what's really going on inside these super popular Roblox games and why your kid's huge reaction is actually making a lot of sense. Right, let's set the scene. Your child is just playing a game, it looks totally cute and harmless, and then bam, out of nowhere, there are tears, there's anger, and this deep, deep sense of injustice. It feels like a massive overreaction, but trust me, there's a reason for it. Yeah, that's a real quote from a real 8-year-old, but it could have been said in millions of homes last night. This is that moment a fun little game stops being fun and turns into a source of actual pain. It's a sound that is becoming way too familiar for parents everywhere. And that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? Is this just kids being kids, a normal part of playing online? Or is there something more deliberate going on? Something that feels a lot more like calculated cruelty that's actually baked right into the game's design? Well, here it is. This is the engine driving the whole thing. It's less of a game and more of a machine. It's built to do three things in order. First, make a kid fall in love with a virtual item. Second, engineer this really painful moment where they lose it. And third, right at that peak of frustration and sadness, offer a paid solution to make it all stop. Okay, so let's pull back the curtain and look at exactly how this works. What are the actual mechanics of this cycle of wanting something, losing it, and then being asked to pay? It's shockingly simple, which is exactly what makes it so powerful. And it all happens so fast. We're talking like 30 seconds. First, a super cool rare item shows up. You get that rush of excitement. Your kid grabs it and feels that awesome sense of achievement. But then, before they even have a second to enjoy it, another player just takes it, instantly. And right at that moment, when they're feeling the most angry and helpless, a button pops up. Want to buy a safety pass? And this is the price of making the bad feeling go away. The game offers to sell them that safety for 199 Robux, which is the money they use in the game. Now, to a kid, this doesn't look like real money. It looks like safety. It looks like the answer. But of course, it is real money. 199 Robux is about $2.50. It's a small enough amount that it feels like no big deal, right? But these little microtransactions are literally the fuel that keeps this entire upsetting engine running, day in and day out. And here's the thing we really have to get. This isn't just about virtual currency or pixels. This whole cycle has real, tangible consequences for a child's brain, their emotional state, and even their actual friendships. And there is actual science behind those tears. According to pediatric psychologist Dr. Amanda Klein, that feeling your kid has, it's not an exaggeration. A child's brain literally processes this virtual theft as a real social attack. It triggers the exact same stress hormone, cortisol, that scientists measure in kids who are being publicly humiliated or bullied at school. And this right here, this is the huge disconnect we as parents have to wrap our heads around. While we just see them losing a digital pet, they are feeling the emotional equivalent of someone dumping their backpack out in the middle of the cafeteria for the entire school to see. When you see it like that, their reaction suddenly makes perfect sense. And this stuff absolutely spills over into the real world. I mean, one parent told a story about watching two best friends, kids who had known each other since they were toddlers, actually end their friendship during a Zoom birthday party. Why? Because one stole the other's virtual fish. The game became more real than their friendship. You have to understand, this isn't an accident. It's not kind of addictive, it's addictive by design. These games are using a playbook that comes straight from the casino floor. It's called a variable ratio reward schedule. It's the exact same psychological trick that makes slot machines so impossible to walk away from. It keeps you hooked with random rewards and that feeling of, oh, I almost got it. And this is where it gets genuinely scary. A study from the University of Plymouth found that kids who are regularly playing these kinds of loot box-style games, and let's be honest, that's what these are 3.6 times more likely to develop a problem with gambling by the time they're 14. Okay, so I know that's a lot, and it's pretty heavy, but here is the good news. You are not powerless here. Not at all. Let's walk through a super practical 5-minute safety check you can do on your kid's account literally right now to make it so much safer. Here we go. First up, go into parental controls and just turn on account restrictions. That one move will make most of these predatory games just vanish. Next, set the monthly spending limit to 0. Then change who can message me to friends only. Turn on notifications for all purchases so you get an alert if they even try. And finally, and this one is so important, sit down with them. Ask them to show you what happened, to show you what they lost. Just being there and seeing their grief is the first huge step.
All right, so that's the tech side of things. But what about the human side? What do you actually say when your kid is sobbing? Well, there's a script that really works, and it's all about one thing: validation. You know, our first instinct is to say, honey, it's just a game, or it's only pixels, but all that does is tell them that their feelings are wrong. Instead, try saying something like, wow, I can see you worked really hard for that. That would make me really upset too. See, that opens the door. It lets you have a real conversation about whether this game is actually fun or if it's just making them feel terrible.
And while you're at it, keep an eye out for these red flags. If your kid is staying up late to guard their items, if they're turning down real-life playdates to just grind for stuff in a game, if they start calling themselves stupid or unlucky, or, the big one, if they're trying to use your credit card in secret, it might be time for a bigger conversation, maybe even with a professional. It is so much easier to deal with this at age 8 than at 13. And look, you are going to get the, but mom, everyone else is playing it line. We all do. And when you hear it, I want you to just remember this quote. It's such a powerful reminder that your job isn't to follow the crowd. Your job is to protect your kid. You get to decide what's healthy for them.
So the question I really want to leave you with is this. Go take a hard look at the games on your kid's tablet. Are they actually building them up? Are they tools for creativity, for friendship, or are they just machines that are designed to profit from their frustration? Because at the end of the day, you're the parent. You get to decide what stays and what goes.